You know who I am?
Anything you say. Anything you say.
It's official.
What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now, this past week, there really wasn't anything major going on in the news except for the same old crap. You know, they're still trying to indict Trump, and you know, Biden's in real big trouble now. They gave Hunter a slap on the wrist, even though he's done some serious crimes. You know, the same old BS. These people will never be, as long as we have the DOJ, the FBI, CIA, the way it is now. These people, these Democrats, will never be held accountable for their crimes, which are actual crimes. But whatever, it's just the way it is. Our government's corrupt. Politicians are corrupt. Anyways, moving on. I just got done recently watching the new Transformers movie. It's basically Beast Wars is what it is, based off that, the cartoon. I never did really watch Beast Wars. That was after I originally watched the original Transformers, and even had some of the comic books when I was younger, but I never did get into like the spin-offs like Beast Wars or anything like that. That came way later. Again, even though the Transformer movies, the first three are okay. After that, they just got done with it. I absolutely hated, because they kept changing everything, the backstories and all that crap. So I really haven't cared for most of the other Transformer movies. I wasn't a huge fan of the first three Transformer movies either, even though they were okay for what they were. But again, they kept changing all the backstory crap. Lots of people complained about Bumblebee being changed into a Camaro, because he's not. He's supposed to be a Volkswagen Bug. I said, well, it wouldn't have been cool enough. The kids wouldn't have liked it, blah, blah, blah. Yes, they would have, if you would have done it right. All they had to do was soup him up a little bit, like make him a hot rod Beetlebug. You know, the hot rod type. You know, they would have been on board with that. No, they had to change it. Anyways, the other thing I've never liked about the Transformer movies, and they do this with other shows too, where they try to take a little bit of the resource material of the characters, and then they want to mix in the old characters with the new characters, you know, the more recent characters. I'm like, you can't fucking do that. They don't know each other. They're not supposed to be together. But Michael Bay does this with all the Transformers. He mixes the Transformers up, which you shouldn't do, because they're completely different storylines. These characters are from completely different stories. So it's just dumb. that they do that. They do this with this one as well. They mix match the new with the old character, so whatever. Dumb. In this one, the story basically is there's a crystal or something that the beast bots can use to travel between worlds and different times. Apparently they can travel through time with it too. And Unicron, which is a huge character in the Transformers series, apparently he's come to collect it. They make him a bad guy. Now, yes, he was kind of a bad guy at first in the comics and shit, but later he becomes a good guy, and he helps Optimus Prime. But anyways, he shows up. He's got minions. It's almost like they kind of took a story of Galactus from Marvel and pitched one of his stories where he's got minions that check out worlds for him, and then he comes in and he eats the world. Same thing. It's the same concept. But anyways, he's coming to take Earth, and the Autobots are trapped on Earth. They have no way home back to Cybertron. And this is all done, this is like in the 90s. Before, I guess the government, they got involved with the government, or maybe they did get involved with the government already or something. I don't know. Because they kind of mentioned they've dealt with humans before. Optimus Prime has got a chip on his shoulder. He feels like humans have betrayed him for some reason. So now he's really not big on, humans knowing who they are and what they're about. It's kind of weird. They kind of went off in a different direction. He's kind of a dick in this. They made him kind of a dick in this movie, which is not Optimus Prime. So anyways, they find this thief and this historical research girl to help him out and try to collect this time travel device. Whatever. It allows some crystal thing or whatever that allows them to travel between time and worlds and stop Unicron. So they get a big battle towards the end. And one of the dumbest shit I've ever seen, this Mirage character, he turns into like this robotic suit for the guy, the young kid, he's thief or whatever he's with, and he's like a robo jock now, and he's able to help Optimus Prime defeat the main henchman. Get the fuck out of here. That's never happened in the entire Autobot or Transformer series in the comics or anything. So I don't know where they got that bullshit at. It might have happened way later, like in the newer shit, but it's not from the old school stuff. That shit's different. That's new. That's completely something else. But anyways, whatever. It was dumb as shit. And the CGI of him inside the suit just looked stupid. You could tell it was CGI. It was bad. Anyways, they stop Unicron, and at the very end, you get the kid looking for a job. He shows up at this office, and this guy tells him, we're from a secret military group. we know all about what happened over there, and we're glad you did. We thank you for saving the world. And you know, his brother has a medical condition, and they're all like, we'll take care of it. We know it's expensive. You ain't got to worry about it no more. We just hope that you join our team. And he hands him a card, business card, and it says G.I. Joe on it. I was like, get the fuck out of here. You know, just, I don't know what they're thinking, but that's just dumb. Anyways, that's the basics of the movie. It really, it just fell flat for me. Again, it's not Transformers. It's like their rehashed version of Transformers. It was terrible, terrible. I did not like the movie. It was bad. You know, I thought it was going to be pretty decent because they were going to introduce the, you know, the Beast Formers or whatever. But nah, it sucked. I gave it 2 thumbs down. Besides that Bumblebee movie, this was the worst one of the series, as far as I'm concerned. It was pretty awful. Anyways, that's my thoughts on Transformers. You don't need to waste your time watching this. It's a terrible movie. It's not Transformers. They changed everything. Anyways, let's get on to your B-movie reviews. Okay, Movieholics. This week is Fantasy Week. And we're going to do a couple 90s movies. The first one is based off a superhero, and it is called The Phantom. And it was done in 1996. It only made about 17 mil, so it didn't do all that well. It starred Billy Zane and Christy Swanson. Now, I remember The Phantom from like old cartoons and shit like that. I never really got into him or the comics, but apparently he was fairly big back in the day. It's set like in the I think it was 1930s is when it's set, somewhere around there between the 20s and 40s. You know, around those times. You know, everybody's wearing the pinstripe suits and shit and the fedoras and whatever. The story basically, there's these 3 skulls that this particular tribe on this particular island, you know, has or did have at one point in time. And the legend goes, if you put the 3 skulls together, they become like this huge weapon or some shit. Very powerful weapon. One's jade, One's silver and one's gold, and they have like these gems in the eyes, and they shoot like lasers out of them. Well, there's actually a fourth one that most of them don't know about that are hunting these skulls. And the Phantom actually has a fourth one. It's in his ring. Has a skull in his ring. And it's to defend against the skulls and put them in check, you know. He's the one who's supposed to actually control them. Anyways, the story goes, he's stranded on this beach when he's a kid. Or not when he was a kid. Some kid was stranded on a beach when his ship was destroyed by pirates. This tribe on the island took him in and trained him to be the Phantom. Now, for generations, the Phantom's been passed on to somebody else. The mantle, the title. Someone trains somebody else and they become the Phantom. Billy Zane is the Phantom, and his character, his name is Kurt, I think, if I remember right, and his father was the Phantom before him. He got killed, and he takes over the mantle of the Phantom. Now, there's this reporter searching for the story of these skulls, because apparently there's this, you know, rich guy or whatever. He's also looking for the skulls. He eventually gets a hold of all three skulls, and then the Phantom has to stop him from killing everybody.
You know who I am?
They even run across the old pirate and his crew, and they have to fight them too. They've been trapped on this island or whatever, looking for the skulls themselves. Anyways, they get a big fight towards the end on this island where the pirates have been hidden. And they wipe out all the pirates pretty much, and then they escape the island. And the Phantom, yeah, I guess the skulls get buried in the island, somewhere in the island. When it blows up, they blow up the island or whatever, the facility where the pirates were hiding. I guess it gets buried, the skulls get buried there, and you know, the Phantom goes on being the Phantom. There's a bad girl who's working for the rich dude at first, then she switches sides and becomes friends with the reporter who is looking for the skulls, who Kurt Kip, whatever the fuck his name is, Billy Zane's character, he knew her from before. You know, before his father died, he went to college in America and knew her from there. Anyway, she figures out who he is. Go figure. You know, she promises to come back to the island to him at the end of the movie. And that's the end of the movie. You know, he saves the day. It was okay. I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't the best horror movie, or sorry, comic book type movie. Billy Zane's alright, a decent actor. He's alright. He don't bother me. I loved his character on Demon Knight, though. He was hilarious in that movie. Did such a good job in that movie. But anyways, this one wasn't all that bad. I just don't think a lot of people can get into the movies that are around the 20s and 40s that has to deal with superheroes. Like, I like The Rocketeer as well, but it dealt with that genre and or, you know, that time frame, that era. I just don't think a lot of people get into that era when it comes to, you know, that time, when it comes to like superhero type stuff. They just can't get down with that. Not anymore. Not like it used to be way back in the day. But It's worth a one-time watch. Like I said, it's not bad. I mean, it was a little cheesy, but other than that, it was okay. You had some decent actors and shit in it. And the story wasn't horrible. It was just, like I said, it's a little cheesy, but the actors are great. So, you know, not bad. I give it 2 thumbs up. Check it out. It's at least worth a one-time watch. Let's get on to your next movie. The next one I had to do because they literally just came out with that stupid dumbass cartoon. And it's the Super Mario Brothers. It was done in 1993, made about 21 million. It didn't do all that well either. And it starred Bob Hoskins as Mario, and Samantha Mathis was in this as well.
You know who I am?
She played Princess Toadstool. Yeah, Dennis Hopper as the Koopa and a couple other people. But anyways, it's based off, of course, you know, the Nintendo game Super Mario Brothers. And it's live action. It's not some stupid dumbass cartoon, which was, you know, had some woke shit in it. You know, Princess Toadstool is a princess. She's a lady. She's not a boss bitch. She never has been. Now, in the second Mario, Super Mario Brothers game, you got to play as Princess Toadstool. But again, she was still dainty and a princess. She wasn't like some super badass can kick everybody's asses chick like she is in that stupid cartoon. Anyways, moving on. So this movie is far superior, but again, it's pretty cheesy. They did this whole storyline where when the meteor crashed, it put the dinosaurs in an alternate dimension, and through their evolution, things were similar but different than our world for the mammals instead of the dinosaurs. They grew some humanistic characteristics and started looking more human, even though they still had dinosaur DNA. They have their own little city. It's like the only city in their entire dimension, which is kind of strange. The rest of it's all desert, like this huge world of desert, and then they have this one city, which made no sense, but whatever. Dennis Hopper plays King Koopa, and he kind of built this machine that de-evolutionizes people, and he did it to Princess Toadstool's father, killed her mother. Her mother ran off with her when she was a baby and took her to the human world and gave her to some nuns, so she grew up in an orphanage. Now, come to present day, you know, she runs into Mario and Luigi, and she finds out there's been some kidnappings going on. Apparently, Koopa is looking for the princess because she has a piece of the meteorite, the original meteorite, and he needs it to put it back into the meteorite so he can merge the two worlds together, the two dimensions. They get in several little fight scenes, blah blah blah. At the end of the day, though, you know, the Mario Brothers come through, save the day, and stop the evil Koopa from merging the worlds. In fact, they turn him into gel. Like they use a de-evolutionary gun and turn his ass to gel. So you see him as like a dinosaur for like, you know, for like 30 seconds, and that's it. the main part of the story didn't sound too bad. However, the concept, the way they tried to do it with the concept just didn't work. It was really goofy. I mean, Toad looked like this big giant human dude, and then they de-evolutionized his head and he looked like this little dinosaur head, like off of Beetlejuice when they do the shrinking heads. That kind of thing. That's what they looked like. And most of the Koopas looked like that too. They're soldiers or whatever. It was really silly. It was really goofy. Like I said, the story was actually not a bad idea. They just didn't, you know, make the concept work right. It just didn't work. That's why it was kind of cheesy, and not too many people really liked the movie. It's okay. Like I said, it's way better than that cartoon. But even then, that's not saying much because it wasn't that much better. It's a one-time watch thing. It really is. Yeah, I give it a thumbs up and a thumbs down. It's worth a watch, and then after that, don't bother watching again because it's really not that great of a movie. Even though they picked the perfect Mario, Bob Hoskins, he was definitely, he looked like him. He looked like the character. Now they did end this movie kind of on a cliffhanger. They made it look like, you know, they were going to do a sequel, and supposedly they were supposed to face Wario in the sequel as the bad guy, but apparently that didn't come about, obviously. That's all I have for you this week. So until next time, if you have any thoughts that I talked about earlier in the video, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. If you can think of any underrated or, you know, B movies that I may never even heard of or seen that you think I might never heard or seen, please leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below. I'll get to reviewing them as soon as I can. So until next time, I told you to be told the truth, and you just been told.